Some of the most pressing questions since the dawn of time have surrounded the nature of human existence and knowledge. These questions have come from a desire to know something further, something deeper than ourselves. In our own search, we encountered the idea that knowledge grows in spots. Some of us stick to a traditional ideal of how truth is defined, like Khenpo Tsultrim, a Buddhist monk that was born into a Tibetan Buddhist family. But sometimes, we have people that go against the grain and try to define these complex ideas in their own way. People like Pastor Kathy Harvey Nelson, who as a Christian tries to align her life with Christ, but not the Christ that has been disassembled and reassembled like drive-through food, but the radical, thoughtful Christ of the Gospels, the Christ of love. Through a series of interviews with religious students, religious leaders, and students that would define themselves as non- or anti-religious, we look at how religion, or a lack thereof, has shaped these ideas. What we have found is that religious and non-religious people hold at the core of their separate doctrines the ideal quest for truth and knowledge.
What is truth?
No comment.
All right, then we'll move on to the next question. No comment on that.
Where is this going to be posted? That's what I need to know. Listen, how many fellow peers is going to be viewing this, huh?
This is just going to be on a YouTube. And
The hell?
what would you define as truth?
Truth, honesty, being honest.
All
Yeah.
right, fair enough. Do you believe that a higher knowledge, or let's say truth with a capital T, is obtainable? The truth of life, I guess you could say. You think that's attainable as a human being?
No.
So, my first question for you is, to you, what is higher knowledge, or let's say truth?
Truth. I'd say that truth is a pretty complex topic. If I asked you to prove something to me, you really wouldn't be able to prove anything.
Myself introducing other religion too. But I'm not saying I'm not comfortable with the Buddhism, that way I'm searching something. But I try to learn other tradition, that way it's actually helpful for me to more understand about the Buddhism when I learn other traditions. So in Tibetan we said if you put two colors, it become a new colors. Same thing as if you bring up two wisdom together, there will be new wisdom produced from that. So that way I always say like to learn from others' tradition, other culture, or anything, new thing I can possible. I think truth is there's a two, we divide in the truth, is a two. We call the relative truth and absolute truth. Relative truth is generally, basically, what is the phenomenon's reality, what we go through daily basic. At the earlier age, when I don't have any information on the other religions' knowledge, I always think Buddhism is the best, other religions are not that good. Or maybe they are wrong path, something. But when I'm learning more and more on the other religions, I see more similarity. So that is my awakening from the delusion of misunderstand. Yeah. So that is in the whole world we need that one. More you aware others' culture, others' tradition, others' knowledge, you become a more respect. Then we don't have to worry about the defense or anything. We become a really peaceful. Yeah, I think most of our man-made disaster come from the misunderstanding. So that way, you need those three trainings to educate yourself away from the delusion. Then we are free from all the troubles what we're creating. I don't think so. Buddha said they are not good, but yes, that's true. Buddha went under training all the other religion, what exists then. Any kind of religion exists, Buddha went under training on those religions. But he couldn't fulfill his desire of want to accomplish something by only their instruction. So that way, he tried to went through also ascetic meditation, like eating only 1 grain and 3 grains of rice, fruit, and 3 drop of water. Rely on that food to meditate under the tree. 6 years he did that one. That was true, but it's not saying they are not good enough, or they are not, they are wrong or something. It's not that reason. The only reason is he went through those all. He just educating himself from all the different wisdom. So he learned all the different wisdom from the outside that he educated. Then inside also he went through the tremendous meditation to review his inner wisdom. So both those compound, and he found out the true nature of a phenomena, or true nature of reality. That is what he expressed later his Dharma teachings.
I think knowledge is, to put it simple, education. It's, obtaining, like, knowing everything, kind of, like being well-rounded too. Like, it's a variety of things that you learn about. Truth is difficult to define because everybody has a different definition of it, but personally, it's like the facts of something, like it's exactly what happened. I believe that there's multiple truths because it depends who you are and how you see things, and how you see things depends on your culture and how you were raised. I believe there's a higher power. I just don't know what it is, and I'm not going to put my faith all in one thing. I don't think truth and spirituality are really connected, not in my life. Truth is truth, and spiritual worlds are spiritual worlds, and a lot of people try to find truth through that, but I don't. Because I think people think that if they lie or they spread lies by accident, that it's like a sin or something that they'll get punished for.
Truth has changed and shaped over time. There was a time as a Christian in my early life when for me there truly was a definition of truth, right and wrong, things that always held steady and true. But over time that has changed for me. I no longer see things kind of as what can be referred to as black and white. For me, truth is much more subjective now. I've come to know that there are truths beyond my own that are just as true as my own, both philosophically and religiously. There was a time when for me religious truth meant believing a certain way, and that was the right way or the true way to believe. Over time, I've come to know and understand the concept of God as a much larger piece of faith and belief. And in doing, that's opened my eyes and my understanding to the fact that there's really more than one way of finding truth or right or correct belief or understanding or meaning to life. Life meaning can be different depending on where you stand and how you've grown up and your culture and all of those kinds of values. To me, they all feed into the definition of truth. It's really hard to define it out in a specific sentence saying truth is. And so for me, that's what opens up this idea of truth being more than just a statement of right or wrong, or a philosophical or religious idea of right or wrong. I would say for me, probably the place where I would define as a boundary for truth is a place where no one is harmed by your truth, physically, mentally. So in other words, it's wrong for me to impose my truth on you because it could harm you in some way. So I need to kind of be aware of how how my truth operates within all of the other truths that are out there for other people and in their understanding. And so, yes, I'm definitely talking about a bit more pluralistic idea or understanding of what truth or religious interpretation can be.
Okay. Well, obviously, I think truth depends on each person. So everybody has their own kind of truth, no matter what scale it is. So truth is what is important to you. So, you know, in some cases it could be family, friends, grades, popularity, money, whatever. To me, truth is growing as a person. So if I feel that I'm growing as a person, then that's enough. So it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It's if I feel content, maybe with every aspect of my life, if I feel content that I'm growing as a person, then that's truth. I think there are levels of truth that you can achieve. So you can always achieve more truth. You can always achieve higher forms of knowledge. But I don't think there is a peak to which you can't learn, or to which you can't. I don't think there's a peak to where there is no more truth that can be acquired. You can always continuously, no matter if you live to be 200 years old, there's always more things you can learn, more things you can learn about yourself, and more things you can do to grow as a person.
There's a place where we're told in the Gospels where Jesus is questioned and asked about what truth is, and he remains silent.